Hi guys. It's just gone 6 a.m. I have a seminar on professional decision making. Luckily not until 12, and I'm hoping to get some sleep before then because I don't know what's happened tonight really. I thought I'd watch some DVDs. I treated myself this week and got the first 3 seasons of ITV's Primeval for £18 or something absolutely ridiculous. I think it worked out less than 20p a minute. No, that's even wrong. Less than 2p a minute for all of the hours and hours of pleasure I'm going to get out of it. So I decided to splash out a bit. I think possibly why I'm awake is just a massive mixture of things. I've spoken a bit on the pain support forum about my bladder problems that I mentioned in the last video because I was too embarrassed to tell my doctor, even though I'm very nearly a pre-reg pharmacist. He put through an emergency referral on Thursday last week. I got my choose and book code on Friday. I then booked an appointment for the 11th of March, which I thought, wow, within 6-7 weeks, that's really, really good. Actually, it's even less than that, isn't it? 6 weeks. I thought, oh, this is brilliant. That's, one less thing to worry about. It's quite soon. And then I got a phone call from the hospital on Tuesday to say, oh, we've read your referral. We are really concerned. Can you come in on the 25th? So I've only got to wait like 2 weeks to see someone about it. Last Thursday I had a 10-minute appointment with my GP and I was in there for over half an hour just talking about everything. But I did get myself in a bit of a state, so he said, oh, I'll come back next week in a few days when you've calmed down a bit and we'll discuss everything properly. So he's concluded that it's going to be one of 3 things. It's either going to be some sort of temporary-ish swelling around my spine at a level wherever that's causing compression of the nerve to my bladder. But the fact I've had an epidural in January and it has got worse since then does kind of imply that if there was any swelling there, it should have gone from the massive steroid dose in my spine. Option number 2 is I have something else wrong with my bladder that's just a localized condition. He said that would be bloody unlikely and bloody unlucky, considering everything else that I contend with. And the third option, he said, is a guess, and he said some sort of trauma-related nerve degeneration. That if it's come on slowly over 3 months, doesn't really know what that means because he didn't want to say progressive, or he just said neurodegenerative, which might mean whatever. So I can't quite decide which one I want to go for, which one I'm rooting for, because if it is a spinal, just a bit of inflammation, it already hasn't responded to steroids, so I don't really know what else to do with it. Yeah, so that's just something else I don't really need. I made a video last week, but YouTube removed it because it was too long. Now, I thought the guideline was 15 minutes and it was 16 minutes 04 and it got removed. So, you know what? It was such a mess that I don't even remember what I said. But it was important. Well, I don't say important. It bothered me enough to be 16 minutes long. But I'll have a look at that and do something about that later on in the week. So it's Friday today now. It's 6:15. I've got a massage tomorrow at 1, which should be nice. I bought some presents for a friend. I've got a list to buy some presents for a friend, and then it's got to go in the post, and it's going quite a long way. So that'll be another little thing I'll do tomorrow, because we live right next door to a post office, so it'll be good to just make sure that I definitely get out of the house, because at the moment my project, I'm trying to go into uni for 2 or 3 afternoons a week. Friday is different because we still have compulsory elements on a Friday, so generally speaking I have about a day and a half off, and it's really hard to get out of bed if I know that I don't have something on that timetable. Generally I'm quite stubborn and quite determined, saying that I didn't go in on Tuesday when I should have done, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, so I am just trying to pace myself to make sure that I can last out the entire 12 weeks and get all my work done before the end of week 12. I'm reading up on malaria. I've got an essay due in week 10. Just reached the end of week 4, so I've still got plenty of time. It's just I've got so many different projects on the go. It's really hard to prioritise, because even though the ones that I've got longer to do, they are so much bigger than the one that's due soon. So the reality is, I should have just been working steadily for the last 4 weeks, but I felt so shit, it didn't really seem worth it. I just went for a fag outside the front, and I ended up talking to a cat. Actually, reality is, a cat jumped out on me and scared me shitless. It was quite funny. I laughed at myself, and then he prompted to fall in our bin, because it's bin day to day. It was quite entertaining, but of course I was on my own in the dark in the middle of the street, so I probably looked like a right batty old woman. Oh, and I didn't put the lid down, which makes me a good person after that woman put the cat in the bin. Don't know if you're familiar with that story or not. It was all over our news in UK for over a week. I mean, we really need to get over it. And the cat was on the news, almost like it was being interviewed afterwards. It was shocking. Obviously there wasn't anything else going on, and shit news is good news because it means there's no big news. Anyway, that was a bit off key. What was I saying? I went to have a fag. I was talking to the cat. Yes, and I was talking to the cat because there's nothing wrong with talking to cats. At least I wasn't just talking to myself out loud. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. Yeah, the cat tried to get in the house, and we don't like cats in our house, so I had to shoo him away in the end, even though he was quite sweet. Anyway, I was telling the cat about my lack of foresight. When I get into one of my depressions, I kind of lose the ability to picture myself in the future. It's classic, really. Absolutely classic. You can't see yourself doing anything. And unfortunately, right at the moment, we are booking how many seats we want for our graduation, and also paying for our gowns and hats, waterboards, whatever. So it's all kind of waving my depression in my face, really. This is kind of, you have to do this, this and the other, but you don't see yourself doing it, so why bother? But it's got to get done. So I spoke to my brother today, just very briefly on Facebook. Just asked me if he wanted to come to my graduation. I was expecting him to say, no, I can't be bothered. But no, he said yes straight away and asked when it was afterwards. So that was very nice and a nice surprise. What are we at? Just over 8 minutes. Sorry if I'm boring you tonight. I'm a bit foggy. Yeah, I don't think there's any point in actually talking about my back or anything that's kind of ongoing, because I think if I said hyperbole and a half, pain scale, 6 to 7, I'll put a link underneath. It's a pain scale that has been used on the pain support website kind of as a joke, and on ouch message boards as a joke, because it's so much better than the NHS pain scale. So I'll post that, and I want you to have a look at it because it's hilarious and very, very accurate. Oh, I remember. God, I'm such a tit. The other thing I wanted to say today, similar actually to what I posted on a fibro video that I watched yesterday. I was talking to my doctor Wednesday. I have no idea what time it is because I haven't slept. Talking about the concept of an individual in pain and how impossible it is to measure. Of course, it's impossible to know whether it's there as a doctor, but if you are convinced it is there and they've got all the classic symptoms of possibly a raised heart rate, possible raised blood pressure if it's a new onset pain because it's new to them, then yes, there's evidence of pain. But when someone says they're in pain and they say it's 10 out of 10, what are they comparing it to? We did have a bit of a discussion. Again, I should have only been in there 10 minutes, and we were both wittering away. He's so good, my GP. Don't know how he puts up with me, since he, pays so much out of his prescription allowance to medicate me, and I come back and it's all still shit anyway. So, anyway, yeah, if someone's sprained their ankle and that's probably one of the most painful things that they've done in their life, then that pain is going to be their 10 out of 10 pain, and they can't really imagine pain greater than that. And I actually said to my GP that at times I feel lucky that at least I have a true concept of real pain. When I woke up after my 24-hour diamorphine pump, after my spinal fusion, I think I actually thought I was dead because of the amount of pain I was in and the fact I was still a bit out of it from the morphine. It was pain and delirium like you couldn't imagine, and the vomiting, which of course I vomit all the time anyway because of the pain and because of some of my meds, even though I never seem to vomit at a sensible time that would correlate directly to a med, which is really annoying because I can't just say, oh yes, it's that one that makes me sick, because it's stupid like that. Yeah, so I would say that waking up 24 hours after spinal surgery was the single most painful experience of my life. So that's my 10 out of 10. So if my pain is 6 or 7 out of 10, that is getting more than you can bear on a day-to-day basis. It doesn't mean I can't, well, sometimes it does, but it doesn't mean I can't walk, and it doesn't mean that I have to take to my bed, but the temptation to just curl up in a ball is overwhelming. And partly it's because of the relentless nature of chronic pain and the mind games it causes. But yes, if you told a casualty doctor, if you decided to go in for a massive flare to accident and emergency, and you said your pain was 7 or 8 out of 10, something tells me they wouldn't be rallying around and trying to sort you out, because they see that as the headache level or whatever. Anyway, so it was just a really interesting chat and something to think about. If someone says their pain's 8 out of 10, what is their most painful experience? What are they comparing it to? Which is why medical history is so important when seeing a new doctor. And although it is important, I can't believe, sorry, how wrinkled my forehead is. I'm 22 and I have this awful habit of raising my eyebrows. I might need to get some anti-aging cream on that already. Sorry. You need to check the medical history to see what procedures they've had done, what possible emergency procedures they've had done, just to figure out what kind of pain they might have been in that's measurable, although it's not measurable. Anyway, it's just something to think about a bit. I am tired, but I don't seem to be asleep. I'm in the process of upping my gabapentin, so that should be helping me sleep, and it's really not. I'm currently taking the single maximum dose at night, which is, 1.2 grams, 4 tablets, capsules, whatever. And I've got to increase it by 1 every day until I'm up to 12 tablets a day. And that's just the next step of my pain management. I don't want to up my buprenorphine anymore. Fair enough, really. And my side of the bargain is keeping up my paracetamol ibuprofen. And I really, really can't stress enough the importance of that. This is me speaking as a pharmacy student. If you have chronic pain, take your ibuprofen and paracetamol. Anyway, bye guys.